So we're going to review the ES session today, S&P futures, ES futures. So today is August 5th. I'm going to primarily discuss the US session, but let's quickly go over the overnight session. As you can see, the overnight, the gray plus bars are you can see the gray bars, the gray line. Sorry, the gray line is my yesterday's high, and the blue line is my today high. Okay, as you can see, it started to hold it at the top, and then it tried to go, and then had like even broke the yesterday's high, and then the buying came up, and then started going up, right? As you can see, all the way till the midnight, it had good up bars, and so the so it tries to go there, it tries to get consolidation, and then comes down. So it goes in sideways almost until the morning session. So the morning, so I'm in Pacific, so it's like 5 here, 5 a.m. So the 6:30 is our US open session, which is where is that? US 6:30, yeah, this bar, right? But okay, let's go. Let me pull this chart a little bit down. As you can see, okay, so as I woke up this morning, I saw that I'm just going to hide it for a second so that you can see what's happening. So I woke up this morning and I saw the first thing that caught my attention is this volume and then this bar. Okay, so and why? Because it's an unusually high volume compared to these previous bars, right? So you see that such a low volume, and this one caught my attention. So where does this? So this means what is happening? So this means the buying has emerged here. The buying has emerged very strongly, almost 3 times the volume of any of these bars. And where does this happen? At this resistance line. Sorry, at this support line, right? Closer to the support line. So this is when I drew this the first my support line. Okay, thinking that this is one of the key levels. And what happens? And then see as it starts going up, and nothing much. Not as crazy up bars, like you see the volume is good enough, but nothing crazy. Okay, let me show my these things. Okay, and okay, as you can see, it starts coming down, right? The as it's going up, nothing. Okay, it's okay demand. I won't say crazy demand, and this bar has a huge volume, and then the see as it comes down to test this area again, right? To test this area again, what happens? All of these bars are narrow, small bars, and it's struggling to come down, right? And look at the volume here. It's also struggling to come down compared to these bars. When it start going up compared to this one, these bars are struggling. Meaning what? Sellers are having tough time to push it down, or sellers are not interested to push it down. No one is interested in selling. Like very few people are interested in selling. And what happens? So the US Open. So there is not tradable opportunity. So US Open, suddenly the wall sellers come up and then drop it down. Okay. So what were you hoping? Like you would have hoped, like instead of this bar, if the bar would have been like coming close up and then closing below. Like imagine if this bar was here, you could say that okay, that's a strong bullish because it is happening at the same area where previously people bought. Same area, right? This is the same area, but instead it happens, the selling happens. And so there is nothing, you're just aware. This is the first time that you observe there is a selling happening, and then it starts going up. Look at all these bars except this bar. This is a good demand bar. All these bars, as it starts going up, none of these bars are very strong demand bars. Goes up, closes down. This is okay. This goes all the way down and then close up. This is okay. Decent demand, in fact. And then these 3 bars, see this one, it starts going up. This also starts going up, coming down. This one goes up and then comes down. And see, this happens, and this one, right? Meaning what by this time, before even this bar appear, you know that okay, that buyers and sellers are fighting with each other strongly, because but this is not a place to trade yet, because we don't know who is going to win this fight, right? So we will wait for them to fight and then resolve themselves before we take a straight trade. And so see, we have previously it went up all the way up here and then came down, right? So what happened here? So it tried to break that resistance line here. I have been drawn a resistance line, tried to break it, couldn't break it. And look at the volume. Sellers came up because of the volume has increased suddenly, and it went up and then closed well below the lows, right? Right neatly below. It is not even a middle bar. It's a very good selling bar. And so this would prove me that okay, I'm biased to the shorting thing. That does not mean that I am still gonna short it yet, just because one bar has a strong selling, right? Because this is a strong fight going on between buyers and sellers, and the next bar happens. Okay, it goes down, not much of significance, and it starts goes up and then closes in the middle, meaning that sellers came up and then close in the middle. And when this bar happens, right? So it tries to break again with, see that volume, right? See that volume. It is a no demand bar. When I say no demand bar, is no one wants to buy this one. So this is a perfectly tradable opportunity, because now with all the buying and fighting got resolved here after selling, and then now buyers are no longer interested. Buyers are proving that okay, we are not interested to buy with this low volume, because of the low volume and then the narrow bar at the resistance. This is a good tradable opportunity. Okay, so you can short this one. As you can see, the next bar happens. What happens the next bar? So this is interesting. So this is a dynamic trading, so you need to be clear, right? So far it has been proven that buyers are not interested in you shorted. So what happens with the next bar? Look at the next bar. It comes down and then closes in the middle, and look at the volume. It strongly came up. So compared to this bar, it's almost double the volume, and then the bar should have been somewhere like a good down bar, but this closed in the middle, meaning what? Buyers came up and then bought this one. Now we know that buyers came up and bought this one. Okay, and then this bar happens. Okay, so when it starts going up, right? I, I was about to close my account, because I have, if I've shorted here like 331950, right? So I could have break even, like closed, right? I could have kept my stop loss at the break even. If it had touched it, I would have thought that okay, yeah, my trade is a break even trade, like zero, no profit, no loss trade, and then I would have left it like that. So I kept it like that, but however, it did never touch that place. So that is why it is important that you take at these edges trading, right? So again, what happens? So it comes up and then closes below again. So again, this one grows and then closes below. When this happened in two bars, buyers are proving themselves. It is pushing down and then coming up. This is when this is the time to exit. Buyers are proving themselves strongly with strong volume, right? So exactly. So this is the dynamic portion. What I was expecting was it would go and then test this one, right? At least this area. My target was this, the close of this bar, but it did not happen, right? So but being able to read this volume price action will give you an ability to exit immediately, given that you have seen such action. You don't need to wait all the way to come down or close this. So this happens. So now buyers came up into picture, and sees, now look at the strong demand that happens. What happened? It's a strong demand, right? Look at the volume, look at the price action. Now what happened? Now it's, buyers are proving themselves. Now the bias is towards buying. And then next, what happens? So look at these bars, look at these three bars. It starts coming down, buyers come up and buy it. And look at this one. This one makes it even more. Buyers are even more aggressive. Look at the volume has increased, right? Compared to this previous bar, the volume has increased, but still, this bar closed at 13 this level, and then this bar only moved this much. If the entire volume had been selling, the bar would have been somewhere here. But instead, if it is only moved from here to here at the end of this bar, meaning that lot of buying is happening. Now what is your bias? Your bias is bullish in nature, and so you wait for this level, right? So basically, see, just because this is a level, you don't take a trade, because still, right, still it did not test this area. This is important. It is always, you wait for the support lower level of the piece to get tested before you take a trade. At least, wait for that to that area to be shown, what our buyers are doing or sellers are doing. But when this bar gets printed, right, this is where, with a background buying, with a strong buying, now this is a bar you've taken, you can buy it. And where is your target, right? Of course, first, you would expect. See, another important thing is, as soon as this broke and then it's coming down, I trimmed my support line, my resistance line, because this is no longer valid, because it has a new support thing. But of course, my target is now what, around this area or around this area, because it's closer to this area. I would putting around this areas, right, these two. And of course, as you can see, it hit my target here. And if it had broken properly, you could have held it. But if it did not get broken, you immediately close middle, and the lower portion, you're out of the trade. As you can see, the one of these bars, if you are still holding, you can exit out in one of these bars. Don't wait for too long, because especially if it's broken out, typically what it should have gone up, or it should have gone and then holding this level. So don't wait for 3-4 bars because you were expecting it to go up. Again, what happens now? It comes, it broke, it couldn't, there is no follow through. These bars closed above the resistance line, but there was no follow through, and then comes again. And in fact, actually, I've trimmed this line even once this kind of event happens, I kind of trimmed this line. And then what happens? So there's no trade, nothing tradable, trade thing, because see, once it broken this only, I was expecting a weak pullback to come here or around this area, and then look out for the shorting opportunity. But what happened? See here, a strong buying happened. When this happened, I'm not shorting it because of this strong buying. Anyway, so the selling happens, and then there is a pullback, and then okay, and then it kind of tries to trade at this level. Okay, so I'll tell you an interesting factor where a multiple time frame concept comes up. Okay, here I look up the month every time at the end of the hour, what is happening in the hourly chart. I'm going to show you what's happening in the hourly chart here. And we are around 9:30, 8:30, 9:30, right? 8 to 9. Okay, so this is my 1 hour chart, right? You can see this is a 1 hour chart. So from morning 4 o'clock is kind of holding at this level. So what happened? It tried to go up this one. It held 4 o'clock, 4 to 5. It went up, okay, closed, and then 5 to 6, sellers came up and then sold it, but buyers are able to push it back again. Again, this next bar, 6 to 7, what happens? So there is some buying there, okay, not a strong buying. And then what happens in the 7 to 8 bar? So the entire bar with this volume, which is even bigger than this volume, and then look at the price action. It kind of only moved a little bit. Close up, this one is 33,1775. Close up, this one is 33,100. It moved just like 25.25, right? One tick basically, meaning that there is a lot of selling happening in this one, right? So it holding at this level, selling happening, and when it comes to this one, sellers are proving themselves again. Meaning what now? So in 1 hour chart, their sellers are strong, and this bar prints, right? This bar, right? When it goes above this, basically 8 to 9 bar, it goes above this close, above this high, and then closes well below this any of this bar, right? And this means a strong supply is there in the background, because all these bars, right? So now I know that, okay, there is a strong supply. What I'm looking for is a weak pullback. Like, see this one, this is a weak pullback, what we're talking about. And then where do you take short? At the resistance line. So this is what happened at 8 to 9, and 9 to 10, there's a weak buying. 10 to 11, there is a weak buying. See the bars, it's only moved this much. This is even narrow. 10 to 11 is even narrow. The volume is also even narrow. And I'm going to show you what happens in the 5-minute bar. Okay, so when you read that 1 hour chart, right, you are biased towards the short set. But of course, we trade only on the 5 minute thing. Okay, we have to see that the shorting is also able, the sellers are present even in the 5 minute chart. So what happens? See that one. So the sellers are present here, and then sellers are proving themselves again, and then this a little buying happens here. But what is happening? So when this bar prints, see, right, as it starts coming down around 950 area. So I was like, since it's closer to 10, I was very tempted to short this one, right? And then in fact, I shorted this one, see this one, because of the lowest volume in the day as it start coming. Because I see the thing is that is important, because we were expecting at the high of the this is our the hourly chart high, right? Because it went above the hourly chart and then close below, the upthrust happened right in hourly chart. And you should have we should have waited around this area, especially around this one 33 to 175 area, because this is our hourly high, right? And but obviously I was patient, because of this one. I thought that maybe it won't even test this one. And as you could see, it went down, but as it starts coming down here, I'm still holding it. And but when this bar gets printed with the strong volume, I'm out. It's a kind of break even trade. And you can see there's a small fight going on between buyers and sellers. And these apartments at this time, I was my limit order is well below this one, like 33175. As you can see, this bar gets printed, and this is where sellers are proving themselves again, right? And then as you can see, it starts going up. This is where this is your trade basically. 332 175, 332 150. Typically you put trades a few tickers below the resistance line. As you can see, this gets triggered. Even if you did not take it, this is a perfect place to take a shot. Because of the poor upflow, see this one, it's a grinding upflow compared to this coming down, right? See, coming down, it took few bars, but going up, it took almost like 2 hours to go there. As you can see, this bar prints, as you can see, it comes down, but look at this bar, right? So this is important. So look at the volume, it's almost twice of this one, but it only moved this much, meaning what? Buyers came up here. But because of the inherent our reading ability to be able to read the 1 hour chat, we know the overall nature, because from morning 4 till almost 11 o'clock, the only people that are proving themselves are selling. Because of the entire thing, we can hold it, because the price has still more made good movement. This one happens, but when this bar gets it's like a reversal bar. My target is this one, right? My initial target was this one. And this happens, you can exit out. Be careful, be cautious, because this is a good. If it had been a low volume bar, I would have been holding it, but like since it's a good volume, I exited. But again, so this happens, selling happens immediately again, poor buying happens here. So this time I put a trade around here again. So it got triggered, like this is one, see the 3321 area, right? Even if you do not do this one, you can see, you can put, like, as it starts coming down, breaking this close up, this is where you can buy, you can short it out. So you don't need to be, you even see, because this is a personal capital. As you can start reading it, and you will know that where to put your short limits. But once, even if you are not still clear, you can put somewhere around this area that starts touching this area and then coming down closer to this levels. You can, because another small swing highs, right? So, and this gets triggered, and then of course your target is what? This one. It gets picked up immediately. Did not hold this bar, because it, when it comes down and then it starts going up, right? This is when you need to exit. Do not hold those bars long enough. When your target is reached, get out. I know it went down the next bar, but imagine this was here and then it's going up. You will be saying that. Again, this bar is also another upthrust, you can see, but you don't trade this one because it's almost at the end of the day. That's all, guys. Thank you. Feel free to ask me